Well, hello, this is Rose here, and I thought I wanted to give you a little bit of a brief story about how I actually do my readings because I've had a lot of people call me and they ask me how I do my readings. So I'm going to tell you right now that I pray at the beginning of every one of my readings and any work that I do. I ask your spirit to be in charge of it. Your higher self is actually what I call. I call your higher self, and there is a reason for that. Years ago, when I was working with one of my teachers and healers, I asked her what she was doing. She said she was preparing the room for me. And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, I call your higher self and your soul, and I ask it to prepare the room for you, and it will get the energy ready for you." So, what ended up happening was we waited a period of time. We walked into the room, and we both almost got knocked over. And the reason why we got knocked over was because there was so much energy in that room that day. I obviously required it, or I was ready for it, and I did use it, and it did help me to move through things. So I've made a decision that I ask your higher self to be in charge of anything that I do, and that kind of gets me out of there as much as possible. So some people will experience a tremendous amount of energy when I'm working with them, even just doing a reading, and others won't experience as much. And in fact, even if you listen to your reading, it may change frequency wise depending on what you need at the time because your higher self is in charge of any of the work that I do. So, what I try to explain to people, I could have 10 people in a group in a meditation, and they would all get different energy because they all require different energy. And that same person, even if they were to come to that same group again, they would maybe experience something different the next time they come in because that's what they require that day. So please just understand that that is how I start my readings. I also kind of pray and ask for guidance about you, and I will have a symbolic vision. And what I mean by symbolic is I don't want people to take it literally because it isn't literal. What they're trying to show me is where the person's at. They're trying to show me where you're at, whether you're stuck, and I also get clearly whether I'm supposed to be encouraging you or whether I'm supposed to be assisting you in letting go of something that's restricting you, trust issues, this and that. It just really does depend on the individual and what you are sent to me for. At that point, I do play with a little bit of numerology and astrology just to kind of see where you're at and have you open up to me a little bit more. I would encourage you to be as open as possible when you come. I find that people that come with walls, I am not able to assist you as much as possible. If you come up with a wall and say, "Oh gosh, you're psychic, tell me about myself," and I'm not going to help you at all, I find that I don't seem to serve you as well. I guess because my work is about connecting and assisting you as much as possible. And if you don't want me to assist you, then what can I do? I won't be able to. So if you really want to work with me and if you really want to get benefits from the work, I'd encourage you to be a little bit more open. The more open you are, the better results you'll get. At that point, I usually tell you what I am seeing or feeling for you. And then after that, you can start asking me questions. I can get the feeling of the person that is involved. If you're in a relationship or you're pursuing someone, I can usually get what their intentions are. Sometimes I don't, but I'd have to say more rarely. That's more rare, I should say. Uh, a lot of times I am given quite clearly whether this is the guy or the girl or if it's time. Now, sometimes you're not ready to hear that either. And even if I say it, you might not even be ready to hear it. And sometimes I have to say it in a more gentle way. It really does depend. I'm I also used to do larger fairs, and when I did the larger fairs, I found that a 15-minute reading just wasn't enough. A lot of times, God has a tendency, or Spirit has a tendency, to send me people that are working through some heavy issues, and I found 15 minutes just wasn't enough for that. So, what I will be doing is having the angels work on you over a period of time after my time with you. I could be invoking them to work with you between 10 days to 2 weeks to 2 months to 3 months. Actually, I've had someone that I've had the angels, I've invoked the angels to work with you approximately for 3 months. That doesn't happen very often. Now, the reason why I do that is because sometimes you're not ready to let go of everything all at once. And the angels can only help you if you give them permission. So by me knowing that, I kind of get my little nose in there and I try to assist you as much as possible to get rid of as much as you possibly can in the amount of time that I'm instructed by them that would be beneficial for you. So it is really for your best interest, whatever that I'm doing. And they really want to assist you as much as possible and do it in such a gentle, effortless way that it'll just be like your reality just gradually shifts and changes to your benefit as the week or weeks progress. I've had many clients that have come to me for healings. I end up doing the same thing for them, and they always tell me, that they've started feeling better and better over time, especially if I invoke the angels to work on them over a period of time. So just so you know that, and I guess that's pretty well it. So the more that you're open, the better results you'll get. I try to get as much of myself out of the way. I do bring in the Archangel Michael to supervise the work that I do, and that'll help you to just kind of know a little bit about whether you want to work with me or not. So thank you so much for watching my video. I look forward to working with you if you feel it in your heart that you can benefit from my work. Anyways, thanks a lot, and I look forward to working with you or speaking to you in the future. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.